Obviously, coming off that last game, pleased to get on the road, to play the way we did, to find a way to win was, as I said, was really important for us. I don't think we did all the things that we went in and said this is what we need to do to win. We didn't accomplish all those things. We did some to a point, but we did a lot of other things to make up for that across the board with guys making plays to win games and put us in a position to win. So obviously through the first 3 games of the season, pretty pleased with how those turned out. We're 3-0 and in a great position getting ready to get into conference play. Which is really going to really change things up, a whole different environment. We were in a tough environment last week, going to be a tougher environment, playing at LSU on Saturday night. Always a tough environment to go into, especially a team that brings so many weapons to the table. On defense, they haven't given up, they've given up 7 points in the last 10 quarters. So if we're on, I don't know, that's less than a 1 1/4, so I guess if we scored more than a field goal, we'd be doing better than what they're giving up in the whole game. They've given up 200 yards total game, #1 defense, I think, I know in the SEC, probably in the country at this point of the season on the defensive side of the ball. So obviously a huge challenge for offense whenever you're going to play statistically it's the best LSU defense I think we've ever played going into a game. So huge challenge for us on that side of the ball. On the other side of the ball, they got an enormous offensive line. They're just going to wave after wave of enormous tailbacks to pound at you in a big physical game. And they have the leading receiver in the SEC right now in big play receivers. In the Doral kid getting down the field as a big play guy when you load up the box and try to stop that run. So, they're top 10, easily one of the best teams in the country, and playing on the road on a Saturday night is a great challenge for us. We're going to have to come out and play at a very, very high level to find a way to win.
Questions? Andy.
All right.
Go ahead, Mike.
Mike's got the mic.
Through the first 3 weeks, how much do you implement the game plan? How much do you reveal, and how much do you maybe hold back for the conference opponents and such?
Well, a lot of stuff we're looking at and setting up, and still, you're still trying to find out who you are as a team through 3 weeks. So, we're still trying to find that out. I think you're going to settle down a little bit more in the conference play. We'll experiment on some different things, or just show some different looks, maybe to set other things up as we move forward in the conference play. But I don't know that our goal was to win those 3 games, so it wasn't like we were holding everything back. We maybe didn't, within our plan of those 3 games, we looked at them, looked at the personnel of who we were going against, and what we wanted to try, how we wanted to attack those teams. So we still haven't shown all of our offense yet. The same, I think, defensively. Obviously, this is a very different team, so defensively we'll be pretty different this week. The first couple teams we played more spread out tempo teams. This is going to be a ground and pound team, so it'll be a little defensive scheme. So those are things that we haven't shown in those first couple of weeks.
Obviously the stats are overwhelming. It's hard for road teams to win there at night. But how do you tell the guys, that stuff doesn't matter? Get them to.
Well, because it only matters, all it matters is this week. Every game that's ever been played there has no impact on this game. Every game that we've ever played against them has no impact on this game. Every game we'll play against them in the future or the rest of the season has no impact on this game. It's all about this week, all about our focus and our execution and this one game. And, that's what we talk to our guys about. That's what all our focus is on, is just this one game. And it sounds like Coach talked about with an experienced team. Pretty simple for them to look at it and view it that way and understand that it's all about this one game on Saturday and how we play on Saturday, not anything else.
And you've been with Billy Gonzalez a long time, Utah, Florida. You're both on the sidelines. Talk. Just what's the relationship like that between you guys?
Good. Unless one of the receivers drops the ball or lines up off sides, right? Every one of, I can guarantee on Saturday, every one of our coaches got coaching up by me at some point during the course of the game. Even myself, they said it's tough because I'm calling the plays. So they said, I was yelling at myself. I said, well, you're not as harsh on yourself as you are on everybody else. You use different language when you're talking to yourself. But no, we have a great relationship. I think just because we've worked together so long, there's a great understanding of what we're trying to get accomplished out there and how we're setting things up and what we need to do within playing calls and within the scheme of the game and the flow of the game, how we're trying to set things up for the future. So I think it's certainly a huge advantage that we have been together that long and that we know kind of how the thought process of each other's working.
Even though the last two games, the secondary's given us some yards, and once in the red zone, you're not giving up touchdowns.
Yeah, that's that's part of us playing good defense. Even the last game. I think all year we're playing good defense. Great defense. I can't say we're playing great defense because of the big plays that we've given up down the field. But when you take away the chunks, when you look at the majority of our plays, we're playing really, really good defense. So, that's something we continue to work on, and with guys, with making sure we're always having guys in the right position. And some of those are, you look back, some of them are good schemed plays, that we all of a sudden, you'll always, you go into a game and try to scheme, say, if we can get them in this look and we run this play, we have a shot to hit a big play. That's where a lot of the big plays come from. And, our guys got to do just a little bit better job of not letting that happen. And recognizing when, hey, here's something that's different that we haven't seen that's going to be coming at you. Not that all of them have been that way, and then making sure that we're in the right position to make the plays when we need to. I think Saturday we almost got beat with two big plays. I think we had guys in position. We just misjudged the ball in the air, which is another fundamental technique that we have to do. And that gave up two plays. Or didn't, fortunately. They missed them, on deep shots, but there are opportunities there.
Dan, I know it's not a new concept, obviously. The SEC West is very good, but with 5 teams in the top 10, Arkansas playing better, does it get almost ridiculous at some point? You do some, with one team take a step back, it just seems to get harder and harder.
Well, that's part of this league. That's, there's nowhere in the country right now like the SEC West. I don't think there's a division in football at any level that's like the SEC West is right now. When you look at the percentage of the quality teams that are here, I don't know if you can find anywhere that's like that. And but that's what we love. That's why we love to compete. That's what the challenge for. That's why all these great players come play for us, play for all these other SEC schools. Is that? I don't know. There's 5 teams in the top 10 in the West. So half of the top 10 is in the nation is in the SEC West right now, according to the rankings. But I don't know if there's any other conference that has 5 teams in the top 25 even. Maybe I don't pay much attention to that stuff. But great dominance in the league. Great competition in the league, and that's why we've won so many national championships and what makes it the best football in the country.
I think especially through South Alabama, it seemed like the defense was in a pretty basic 4-3, 2 corners, no matter if there were 3, 4, 5 wide receivers. Do you see maybe the defense transitioning to more of a nickel dime, more corners as you go into SEC play with more talented wide receivers? Yeah,
I think a lot of it's going to determine the game and you're playing. On Saturday, their quarterback was a dangerous player. So for us, part of the game was you got to defend their receivers, but you also, if you spend too much time defending their receivers, he's going to beat you on his own. And so, that was more the plan on Saturday, is making sure we're containing their quarterback that way. Obviously, this week be a totally different deal. We got a lot more linemen probably in the game, even though we rotate those guys through pretty good with all the power football we're going to see this week. But we will, we have a bunch of different packages we'll see for that. If you're going to see more of a passing team, a spread team that's going to have more of a passing than a quarterback run emphasis, But anytime the quarterback's has that extra ability to run, it can be a neutralizer in what you do and how you try to scheme.
Chris Jones was sacked the other night and getting a penalty. How hard is it a thin line to tell guys what's acceptable, what's not acceptable? Because when you've seen other guys celebrate, they don't get the penalty, and then he does.
Well, you know, I told him this, if that was his 5th sack of the game, I might say, hey, you know, I mean, can't be doing that stuff. But, I mean, basically, Preston Smith created the pressure, caused the guy to scramble. He was being blocked, getting his butt kicked, and he fell off the block to tackle the guy. You know, so I mean, that's pretty easy to coach up right there. I mean, heck, do something good before you try to go start celebrating like that. You know, but I mean, you know, part of it, I don't want to take the excitement away from the game. Like I said, that was his 5th sack of the game, and he was dominating the whole night long. And, gets a little bit overexcited. I don't know. You know, I mean, I'll coach that easier than a guy that really wasn't doing much, and kind of, I guess, got fortunate that another guy made a great play on the defensive line, and you don't need to be drawing all that attention to yourself in those situations.
Last year against LSU, it was a close game kind of midway through the 3rd quarter, and then the wheels kind of fell off. You know, what happened in that, and how do you avoid it happening again this year?
Well, I mean, you got to execute. You know, I mean, it was a pretty simple deal. I think we were going late in the 3rd quarter. We were going in to score. We'd go down. We'd drive. We'd miss a field goal. They immediately respond with a touchdown. We have a turnover on the first play and give them the ball deep in our own territory, and they score. Boom, boom. You know, you score 14 points in a matter of a minute and a half. Never going to go real well for you at that point. So I see that, you know, and I mean, you know, I mean, our guys, we got to have to go play a 60-minute game and execute for 60 minutes, and then the SEC maybe beyond that if we have to. But you know, you have got to play a great game. You got to execute and perform at a very, very high level every single snap of the game, not just a bunch, every snap of the game to go win.
Talked about the competition in the SEC West. 3 of those teams coming up for the next, I guess, 4 weeks. I know you're going to say that's why they all come here and play that competition, but I'm assuming they also want to win some of those games. What kind of what does the opportunity present itself? What can this do for the program the next couple of weeks? Those opponents.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because our focus is this week. Like I said, I mean, 4 weeks from now, who knows who's going to be where? You know, I don't know. The team we're playing 4 weeks from now could lose 4 straight games, and then you'll say, well, boy, they were not a very good team. Well, I mean, they're still going to promise you this. Whoever we're playing the rest of the way in the SEC, especially in the West, they're very good football teams. I don't care what the rankings say at that point. You know, or else they wouldn't be all top 10 teams right now. So, but our focus, no, it's just 100% solely on this game only. And, you know, I don't view anything beyond this game. I think if we win this game, we're going to be where we want to be in the SEC race. You know, I think it's always important to win your first game. In conference game, I think that really gives you a big jump start in conference play. So for us, that's this Saturday.
Coach, as an offensive mind, how do you straddle that fine line between being aggressive, sticking to your game plan, and respecting a great top-notch defense?
Well, you're going to have to make plays to beat them. You know, I mean, because they're they have talent, explosiveness on offense. So you're going to have to score points to beat them. So we're just going to have to execute at a really high level, and it's always tough on the road, especially against the team, a dominating defense that they have. But you know, our guys have scholarships too, so we got to find a way to make some plays.
Can you update us on Jamal Clayborn's?
Yeah, he was at practice yesterday. He was here yesterday, and Justin Cox is you know, we expect him to play this week. You know, with where he's at. Everybody's out for the season still. Braxton Hoyette had a knee. He's going to be out for 3 weeks right now. Had his knee scoped. He's going to be out for 3 weeks.
Cedric Childs, is he still out?
They're all out indefinitely. Him and Damian Shelby are all out indefinitely. They'll all miss the season.